The top chart analyst I follow says the sideways price action we've been stuck in is finally coming to an end. That's right, no more endless chop. Now, does that mean prices can't dip lower first? Not at all. In fact, as I'm recording this, we're seeing a bit of downward movement. By the time you're watching, who knows? Maybe it's rebounded, or maybe it's dropped further. Take Credible Crypto, for example. He predicts we'll see another dip before rebounding to new all-time highs. Tired of fake gurus who claim to be expert traders but never trade live? I trade live on the second largest crypto exchange, where everything is transparent and results can't be faked. For over 440 days, I've consistently closed every month in profit. In the last 90 days alone, my followers have earned over $34,000 in profits with only 4% drawdown. Verified results, not empty claims. Want to see my verified stats? Click the first link in my profile and start copying my trades for free today. Potentially even reaching that $20 to $30 range before ultimately peaking. It's definitely possible. But here's the thing. Most analysts I follow don't think we'll need to go down much further. We'll dive into what this all means in just a moment. Even if prices feel down, we're still moving within a clear range. And here's the big takeaway. It's a range we won't stay in forever. Change is coming, and it's coming soon. Crypto has a way of playing with emotions, especially when you're feeling a bit down. For newcomers, it's easy to get shaken out if you don't understand the natural ebb and flow of the market. Charts often show range-bound movement, and while it might feel unsettling, this is all part of the game. What's happening now? Exactly what 16 years of data tells us should happen. Buying crypto doesn't magically eliminate volatility. It challenges your patience and emotional resilience. Most of the time, we're just dealing with sideways price action. If anything, people aren't as scared right now. They're bored. But that can shift quickly if prices dip lower before we see that long-awaited breakout to the upside. Here's the key takeaway. The probabilities suggest this time isn't different. It's highly unlikely this is the end of the cycle, nor is it behind us. Stay the course, because the ride isn't over yet. I don't think that's how it's going to play out. Historically, after Bitcoin peaks, its dominance dips, and we see investors rotating their profits into altcoins. That's been the pattern, and I don't believe this will be the first time in history where that doesn't happen. It just doesn't add up. But before we dive deeper, let me be clear. I'm not a financial expert, and this is not financial advice. Don't make any buying or selling decisions based on what I say or write. I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves making YouTube videos about this stuff. For fun, as a hobby. Right now, as I record this, it's 2:56 a.m. Central Time, Friday, March 28th, 2025. XRP is sitting at $2.22, and Bitcoin is at $85,216. Here's the 24-hour chart for XRP, and here's Bitcoin's. Notice how strikingly similar they are? Markets are moving in tandem, but still range-bound. Nothing catastrophic is happening at this exact moment. As I mentioned in my intro, I believe the best is still ahead, especially for this cycle. That's my perspective, my gut feeling. Why? Because there's no convincing evidence that human behavior has suddenly changed. To argue that the cycle has already peaked, you'd have to prove that people are acting differently this time around. Is it possible? Sure, the improbable can happen. Life has its curveballs. But is it probable? I don't think so. My money's on history repeating itself. Neither does chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. His take? The cycle top isn't in yet. According to him, the euphoria phase, the hallmark of a true market peak, hasn't arrived. And honestly, that's a crucial insight. You don't need to be a chart wizard to grasp this simple truth. Human behavior is predictable. Every cycle peak has followed the same pattern. Why would this one be any different? People won't suddenly sell off and then shy away from chasing profits in altcoins. That's just not how it works. Think about it. Why would people en masse suddenly decide they're done taking risks? They're diving into the most volatile asset class on the planet, crypto. And then, mid-flight, they're supposed to flip the switch and go risk-averse? Come on, it doesn't add up. If you've got a solid argument for why humans would suddenly rewrite their behavior on a global scale, I'm all ears. But until then, let's stay realistic. Oh, and here's another gem from Mikey Bull Crypto. He's got his eye on a Bitcoin USD chart, claiming the falling wedge pattern points to a price target of $112,000. Now that's a prediction worth watching. He's expecting, as are most analysts I follow, basically all of them, that we're about to see another major surge upward. He's not necessarily saying this will be the peak, but he's confident it's coming. So, if that plays out, and XRP continues to outperform Bitcoin, as it absolutely will. What does that mean for XRP's price? Simple. A new all-time high, and finally, price discovery. That's the part I'm most excited about. I've waited years for this moment. True price discovery. It's thrilling to think that XRP has already hit an all-time high, and we're just getting started. We've been vindicated, no doubt about it. But the real excitement lies ahead. Price discovery is going to be a wild ride because no one will know exactly where the top is. Opinions will be flying, debates will spark. It's going to be a blast following it all. That's the stage we haven't reached yet, and I refuse to believe XRP will just settle for ranging for 7 years, being artificially suppressed. The market is finally catching up, and there's no way that barely tapping the all-time high is where the story ends. Waiting another market cycle for price discovery? No way. That doesn't add up for me. It's not even remotely plausible. The best is yet to come. And then there's this, the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 coins. Sure, XRP isn't in this one, but it's still fascinating because the asset class moves in tandem. The signals are clear. The market is gearing up for something big, and XRP is about to lead the charge. Alright, so here's the deal. My cable crypto altcoin market cap is gearing up for a rebound. Yep, hashtag alt season might just be knocking on the door. Check this out. It's bouncing right off a trend line that's been holding steady for years. Sure, hitting this lower end shook the nerves of plenty. No doubt it gave some people a heart attack. But hey, that's the market for you. It loves to test us. Here's a gem from chart analyst Mustache. He's got a post spotlighting the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. He's talking about number altcoins, specifically Total 3, which is shorthand for this chart. His take? Total 3 is tracking previous cycles like clockwork. Nothing new here, it's just taking a bit longer this time. The best part? The biggest wave hasn't even hit yet. The market, as he says, rewards the patient. So we've gone through all these phases over the years to get to where we are now. And Mustache is pointing out that this setup looks eerily similar to past patterns. Same structure, just different timing. When he says patience pays off, he's not wrong. I've been echoing that sentiment since day one of running this channel. Either you're in the game when the market explodes upward, or you're not. That's why I've made sure to stay exposed. Because let's be real, no one can predict exactly when the magic happens. I can't tell you exactly which coins will hit a new all-time high or when, but honestly it doesn't matter. What does matter is having exposure and diversifying your portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Holding just one coin is a recipe for missed opportunities. Even if you're like me and XRP is your favorite, don't be a maximalist. Spread the risk, hold a variety of coins, and give yourself a chance to benefit from the entire asset class. The reality is, no one knows the future. But when the market moves upward, having that broad exposure ensures you're in a position to reap the rewards. It's not some secret formula or rocket science, folks. I've seen massive gains since I gotten back in late 2017, and trust me, there's absolutely nothing special about me. That's one of the most powerful takeaways I can share. I'm just a regular guy with a ridiculous name, and yet I'm winning, and you can do it too. It all comes down to keeping things simple. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is, well, nothing. People tend to overthink and start tinkering with their portfolios when they feel anxious. They sell when prices drop, hoping to buy back cheaper, only to find themselves caught in an endless cycle of mistakes. And don't even get me started on the tax headaches from short-term trades if you're in the US. The winners, though, they're the ones who diversify and then simply sit back. No panic, no excessive trading, just patience. As the blockchain backer recently said in his latest video, it's about playing it smart and staying calm. I hope you enjoyed the video once you got to it. It's from yesterday's update. Strength indicators are building as XRP's price chart evolves and Bitcoin continues to range, setting the stage for potential XRP bull run setups. The idea here? He's firm in his belief that what's most probable is another big breakout for both Bitcoin and XRP. One thing he touched on was the range, something some of you might remember vividly. It's hard to forget, really. It felt endless at the time. Back in 2020, around August through October, give or take, XRP's price was stuck in a sideways grind. For what felt like an eternity, XRP hovered in the low to mid-20s range, leaving many frustrated. Some even panicked, predicting it would drop to 15 cents. If it had, I would have jumped at the chance to buy more. But that didn't happen. It just ranged, wearing people down emotionally, until suddenly, out of nowhere, boom. In early November 2020, everything changed. In a matter of weeks, XRP skyrocketed from the low 20s to around 80 cents, maybe even a bit higher. It's those moments, those sudden bursts that keep everyone on edge, waiting for the next big move. It's that same feeling, isn't it? Like things aren't really moving, but hopefully this time feels a bit easier. We've already hit an all-time high after all. Maybe this phase isn't as daunting as the market turbulence back in 2020. The key takeaway is the same though. Markets don't stay in one range forever. That's just not how they work. So what's your bet? Will the market grow, numbers rise, and time prove us right? Or is it all going to zero? Personally, I'm firmly in the number go up camp. Why? Because crypto has real-world utility. People who understand it clearly value what it brings to the table. This isn't complicated. It's straightforward. Hearing this reminded me of those 2020 conversations. It feels conceptually similar, doesn't it? We're in a sideways stretch now, sure, and there's some chop, but this won't last forever. What's ahead? A new all-time high. Price discovery. The blockchain backer? He's confident. He's calling for XRP to peak this cycle somewhere around $8 to $10. Maybe we'll look back and find those predictions were even conservative. Who knows? One thing's for sure. This story is far from over. I mean, wouldn't he be thrilled about this? Or maybe it's a hit or miss situation. Either way, so many of you have been here for years, waiting for this moment. If we actually manage to hit that $10 mark, or even get close, it could be truly life-changing for so many. Eyes on the prize, though. Don't let this job wear you down emotionally. Here's another post to consider. There's nothing groundbreaking to report right now, but he keeps sharing updates to reinforce his conviction. His belief hasn't wavered just because the market's moving sideways. He's still firm that the price is heading up. And oh, by the way, he's predicted XRP will peak in double digits this cycle, at least $10. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. Here's an interesting post from chart analyst Daily Martinez, who says if XRP breaks $3, it could cancel out the current head and shoulders pattern, potentially flipping the outlook to bullish. There's been chatter about potential downward moves, but not many analysts are sounding alarms. Some, like Credible Crypto, have suggested it might be possible, though more on that later. Most analysts I follow aren't too worried about any notable drops. Even those who acknowledge it aren't saying it spells doom or the end of the bull market for XRP. The momentum is still alive. Let me touch on something I've been thinking about, and it's something the blockchain backer mentioned too. He brought up head and shoulders patterns, one of the first charting patterns you learn. It's easy to spot them everywhere when you're starting out, but let's be honest. More often than not, they don't actually play out the way you expect. If he's onto something, credit where it's due. We'll see if this time it's different. That said, even he acknowledges that things can break upward anyway, regardless of the pattern. I figured it's worth mentioning. On my channel, I'm not afraid to share opinions that might sound negative, because understanding all potential outcomes, even the scary ones, can help you keep your emotions in check. That way, you're less likely to sabotage yourself by panic selling or making rash decisions. Now, here's something interesting from chart analyst Greg Crypto. He's not buying into the head and shoulders argument at all. In fact, he's calling for the opposite, an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the XRP chart. If he's right, that's actually a bullish sign, suggesting an upward move rather than a drop. His take comes from analyzing a slightly different time frame, so while his charts pulled data from last year, it's a similar window overall, just viewed differently. What's noteworthy is his projection, a measured move to $3.70 to $3.90, with the belief that the eventual peak will be much higher. So, as always, it's about waiting to see how things play out. The market has a funny way of keeping us all guessing. He's diving into what's happening on the charts right now, and there's another post breaking down what he's calling the supernova moment. XRP jumping anywhere between $13 and $27. He even linked a detailed post from back in November, which I highlighted at the time. But let's skip the deep dive for now. The key takeaway? His conviction hasn't wavered, that's the point. Just the other day, he doubled down on this prediction. The answer? Double-digit price action. Chart analyst Dark Defender chimed in with a bold post. Hi all, XRP has formed a strong bullish rectangle pattern. The consolidation phase is about to end, and the next leg will bring new all-time highs. This sentiment is echoed by most chart analysts I follow who track XRP. It's not a matter of if, but when. Another post from chart analyst Stephus Crypto adds more fuel to the fire. XRP is looking giga bullish. Something big is coming. He's pointing out that XRP is within a specific triangle pattern, closing in on the apex, with a magnet icon pulling it toward double-digit territory, $10 to be exact. Steffes has been unwavering about this projection. It's worth noting that these analysts previously nailed XRP's all-time high predictions during this cycle. While they might not all agree on the ultimate peak, they've earned their credibility. I'll keep tuning in. They've got my attention. Great minds can have constructive debates on hot topics, and XRP's price action is no exception. Someone with the username Food4Dog recently asked chart analyst Dom, how likely is it that we see the $1.60 dip credible crypto's been predicting? Dom's reply, about as likely as Bitcoin dropping below $75,000 and equities hitting new lows. And honestly, that response makes sense. Markets often move together, so if Bitcoin sees a significant drop, it's not far-fetched to think XRP might follow suit. To clarify, Credible Crypto isn't guaranteeing that $1.60 will happen, but he's been discussing the possibility lately. While most analysts haven't echoed this projection, Credible Crypto is one of the top chart pros in the space, in my opinion. He's simply saying it's a scenario to watch out for, not something to fear. In fact, he sees it as a golden opportunity, maintaining his bold prediction of XRP hitting double digits this cycle, potentially peaking between $20 and $30. If he's right, it'll be absolutely wild and life-changing for so many people. Let's hope he is. But back to Dom, he's not bothered by the idea of a dip. So where does he think XRP is heading? In a recent update, Dom shared his outlook, stating that XRP's price continues to bounce between major VWAPs. According to him, anything between $2.20 and $2.50 is just noise, a messy chop. But even so, imagine hitting the upper end of that range. That's $2.50. Pretty exciting stuff, right? Right now, we're hovering near the lower end, around $2.20. Sure, that might make some people uneasy, but guess what? This is totally normal. It's the kind of movement we've talked about before, just a bit of back and forth action. Nothing strange here. It's all part of the process, even if it makes people nervous. Anyway, here's the deal. The price is still mid-range. In this zone, predicting a specific direction is just speculation until one of the boundaries is broken. The upper boundary, $2.50. The lower, $2.20. Until something gives, the best move is to stay calm and wait it out. No one's making promises about what comes next, but fear isn't the answer right now. As of this recording, XRP is sitting at $2.23, and I truly believe the best is yet to come. Even if, for the first time in history, we don't see a euphoric blow-off top or Bitcoin dominance crashing down, which by the way I think is highly unlikely, it wouldn't be the end of the world. If that rare scenario happened, sure, I'd be surprised. I'd hop on here and say, well, that's a bummer. Looks like we just need to wait a bit longer. But here's the silver lining. We'd still hold the same crypto, and as time goes on, the crypto market will only grow. The pie's getting bigger, and all we have to do is stick around for our slice. Even if we have to wait for another cycle, worst case scenario, I'm fine with that. I've got more patience than anyone else on the planet. That's the mindset. That's how you win. If it comes to that, I'll simply hold on to my crypto, sit back, and wait. Doing nothing can be the ultimate power move. I'll outlast everyone else by staying calm and letting time do the work. Here's the point, you can still win no matter what. Even if the skeptics are right, and for once, things really are different. If the market dives deeper than ever before, guess what? We still win. We win by waiting, by holding steady. XRP has real utility. People aren't going to toss aside tech that clearly adds value. It's here to stay. And patience? That's how we come out on top. Technology may evolve rapidly, but people will always be, well, people. Speculation, over-leveraging, and other very human behaviors are just part of the market dynamic. Yet, over time, more and more people are embracing crypto. That's the big picture. As adoption grows, life-changing wealth becomes a reality for those who hold on and stay patient. So, what's the worst-case scenario? We wait, and if that's the case, I'll stick around for however long it takes. Honestly, I'd even consider buying more. I'll keep earning new money in the meantime, and when the moment finally arrives, the payoff could be that much bigger. There's no gimmick here, no magic trick. That's why I'm not worried. Crypto is here to stay. Take XRP, for instance, an undeniable early frontrunner in the crypto space. Why let fear take over? It doesn't make sense to me. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make buying or selling decisions just because of what I say. That would be a terrible idea. Think for yourself, always.